Moving on now, the President of the United States has commenced his ambitious Democracy Summit. It's a 2-day-long virtual affair with leaders from over 100 democracies logging in for their speeches. On day one of the summit, US President Joe Biden called on countries to make concrete commitments to reaffirm their democratic values. Listen in.
Today, I'm proud to launch the Presidential Initiative for Democratic Renewal, which will focus efforts across our diplomacy and foreign assistance programs to bolster democratic resilience and human rights and globally. Working with our Congress, we're planning to commit as much as $224 million in the next year to shore up transparent and accountable governance.
Now, there are 3 major themes of Biden's first Democracy Summit. That is to have a shared commitment to make democracy better. Secondly, to share ideas and then make concrete commitments. And then lastly, to fight corruption and promote human rights. So, like I mentioned, a total of 100 countries have been invited to the summit, which includes all civil society actors and members of various parliaments. French President Emmanuel Macron said that there is a dire need to have open debates. He gave the example of Afghanistan, citing how there is still a major challenge that we as a society, of course, face in this case.
When I see the resistance of our democracies to this pandemic, and when I see the autocratic regimes, I see the difference. We have open science, we have open debates on sciences, and all these choices allow us to produce better. And we continue to live through challenging times, to experience geopolitical tensions that challenge our values. The Afghanistan challenge and the humanitarian disaster that came with it show the challenges that we face and also the solidarity that most of us are demonstrating by giving asylum to Afghans.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister of Belgium, Alexander De Croo, said that liberal democracy is all about strong leadership. Further emphasized on how a democracy should protect its minorities.
Liberal democracy is not about having a strong leader. It is about strong leadership. It is my deep conviction that strong leadership is based on diversity and on inclusion. Liberal democracy is as much about protecting minorities, protecting diversity, as it is about the power of the majority. It is this fine balance that makes it a quest, a never-ending battle. It is a system based on seeking compromise and consensus, a system that gives nuanced answers to complex issues.
Now, this summit has been billed as a rallying call for human rights and liberty, especially after the West's back-to-back defeats. First in Afghanistan, then with Iran over the nuclear talks and Russia over Ukraine. There's a long list of guest lists and on-air appearances with civil society groups, activists, journalists. The guest list also features Taiwan. Not surprisingly, the biggest outrage against the summit has come from its exclusive targets, Russia and China. The 2 ambassadors to Washington have even penned a joint article denouncing the event as a product of Cold War thinking. China has even gone on to the length of calling itself a democracy. And I'm sorry, let me just clarify here, a democracy that works. China has described how democracy and dictatorship coexist and skips concepts like media freedom and, of course, judicial independence. Meanwhile, the summit is likely to see commitments which will later be followed by a year of consultation, coordination and delivery. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.